Hey guys, Samika here. Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to be doing a battle of the sponges, if you will, with two sponges that I picked up on my run to... Where was I? Where did I go? I really forgot where I got these from. Oh, the bag's right here. I got them from Harmon's. Well, let's try that again. So I picked these sponges up the last time I went to my local Harmon's. I was in need for a new sponge because my beauty blender is just losing its touch now. It's getting a little old. I've had it for a while and I was just not willing to let it go and pay another $20 for the brush, even though I love it. I mean, the sponge, even though the sponge is bomb, but it took me forever to get a beauty blender because it was $20, and it's going to take me forever to get another one because it's $20. The sponge is great. It's just me. I don't want to spend the $20 right now. So I decided to find a cheaper route in the meantime, and while I was at Harmon's, I don't know why I can't remember this. While I was at Harmon's, I decided, I was like, you know what, I need a new sponge, so let me just go ahead in here and pick up a new one. So the two sponges that I'm going to be reviewing for you today is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and the EcoTools Total Perfecting Blender. I originally was just going to pick up the Real Techniques sponge because I've been hearing a lot of great things about it and that it works really well, but I've never seen this one. I know I'm probably late to the train, but I've never seen this one by EcoTools, so I decided why not just get both and test them out, see which one I like better. I might end up liking them both. Who knows? We're just going to test it out in this video and see how these guys perform. Now, the claims on the Real Techniques sponge, it says you can use damp or dry. I personally don't use my beauty blender dry, personal preference, but I wouldn't use these sponges dry because I feel like you get a more flawless finish that way. And this says it is a 3-in-1 multifunctional sponge that leaves you with a complexion that's smooth, enhanced, and gorgeous. Use damp for a dewy glow or dry for a full coverage. It is latex free and it's ideal for liquid foundation and revolutionary foam technology, and you are to replace this every 1 to 3 months. This sponge claims that it is a soft, flexible sponge to blend primer and foundation for a flawless looking skin. This one is also latex free, dermatologist tested, and it is 100% vegan. The Real Techniques sponge doesn't say anything about it being vegan, but this one does. So if you're into that, the EcoTools is 100% vegan. Okay, so now I'm going to take them both out of the package and I'm going to go get them wet, and I will be applying my foundation. The foundation that I will be using is my go-to NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. If you're interested, I am in the color Medium Dark 5 New Guinea. Okay, so I'm back and I have wet both of my sponges, and as you can see, they grew quite a bit as sponges do when they are wet. I don't think there's any difference in how squishy the sponges are. They feel about the same. I would say they are a lot denser than the actual Beauty Blender sponge. The Beauty Blender sponges are a lot more squishier than this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring you guys in closer and we will begin with the battle of the sponges. Alright, so I do have my face already moisturized and primed, and I'm just going to go ahead and with my NARS foundation like I said before. Alright, so on this side of the face, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques sponge. I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out. And I'm using the flat side of the sponge. Right off the bat, this is definitely a lot firmer than my Beauty Blender. Now it says that the flat edges are good for the contours of the eyes, and like getting in here in the nose, it's getting in there pretty good. So that is this side done with my Real Techniques sponge. I mean, I feel like usually I get pretty good coverage with my NARS foundation, but I feel like with this sponge, I don't know if maybe it took off a lot more of the product. Now on this side of the face, I'm going to go in with my EcoTools sponge and just blend that in. I'm going to use this flat side of the sponge to like kind of like push everything in first. I can say though that this sponge, I feel, even though it's not as soft as my Beauty Blender would be, I feel like it's blending out a lot quicker and smoother than the Real Techniques sponge. I don't know. and it's a lot softer than the Real Technique sponge. I don't know, I feel like I have like a really nice, even light coverage of foundation. I kind of want to put more foundation on to see if building the coverage would make any difference in how these sponges perform. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more foundation on each side. Okay guys, so this is my face with a second coat of foundation. On this side is the Real Technique side and this side is the Eco Tool side. I can definitely say personally I am leaning more towards the Eco Tool sponge more because it is a lot softer than the Real Technique sponge, and I feel that it blends out a lot quicker than the Real Technique sponge. Overall application of my foundation looks good. You know, I feel like both sides are very seamless. I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Shape Tape and see how the sponges blend out my concealer. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what we're looking like with my concealer on. Once again, I do like how easy it was to blend out with the Eco Tools sponge on this side rather than the Real Technique sponge. So I guess really right now I'm leaning towards my favorite to use being the Eco Tools Perfecting Sponge. Everything looks good, everything looks blended, everything looks seamless, everything looks flawless. Now both of these products were both $5.99, so it really doesn't matter if you're a Real Techniques fan, if you're a Eco Tools fan. The price is still the same, so there's not much to sway you with the prices because they're both $5.99. I don't know if it depends on where you go if they're both $5.99, but I went to Harmon's, and at Harmon's they're equally $5.99. Yeah guys, so that's my review on these sponges. The winner for me is definitely gonna have to be my Eco Tools Perfecting Blender. Like I said, I just like how easy it was to seamlessly and quickly blend out the foundation and the concealer on my face. It's really up to your preference if you prefer brand over anything. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have any of these sponges? Which one do you like better? If you guys are interested in picking one up, I will try to see if I can find them, find links for them, and if so, you can just check down below. I have them both linked. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe over here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.